This video is dedicated to the most renowned Judgment stands, the renowned Doctor, and the Zuki. I really hope you guys enjoy this. Now, on to the video. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is T.E. Laurence, and today we're gonna discuss why Judgment is best wife. Now, wait a second, Laurence. How could you say that when you already claimed that Justice is best girl? Don't worry, Justice fans, I'm not switching sides here and I still believe she is best girl. Though Judgment is an extremely close second, because high prosecutors are my speciality. However, unlike a girlfriend or a casual bedroom buddy, being a wife comes with a deeper level of commitment and responsibilities. There's a deeper level of trust, respect, and empathy that frankly not all the demon gals possess. Yes, Justice can be a great wife as well, but even I have to admit that the current High Prosecutor does it better than the rest when it comes to taking vows. Because the kindest demon aces all of the aforementioned requirements, thus making her best wife. Before we begin, enjoy the Speedpaint of Judgment as a javelin throw athlete in the 2024 Paris Olympics. The finished piece will be shown at the end. Anyways, Judgment, the High Prosecutor of Hell. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to determine that she obviously stands out from the rest. Unlike the other demon gals, who are all in sharply dressed suits, Judgment is the one skimpily clad chick who isn't afraid to show off some extra skin. Speaking of skin, unlike the other demon gals, who sport pale complexions, Judgment is the one black sheep of the household with an inhumanely gray color. This sounds frightening on the surface, but it's strangely mesmerizing and beautiful in its own way. Unlike the other demon gals who can be won over by kicking away a few rocks, with Judgment, you must defeat her terrifying sin machine whose chains will instantly vaporize your feeble flesh. In other words, you actually need to put effort into courting the High Prosecutor. I mean, she is the final boss after all. But it isn't just her looks or prowess that makes Judgment special from the rest, because what really makes Judgment truly special is within her. On the surface, Judgment appears to be a violent and over-the-top tsundere, one with a tough and spiky exterior that will scare away even the toughest of all men. Given her profession as Hell's ruthless enforcer, she's not exactly the most approachable and her extreme personality is a huge turnoff for most people. Well, newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a turnoff for Judgment as well. That's right, all the bravado is just a mask she wears for her job. Because deep down, Judgment's true self couldn't be further from her public persona. Just like a sea urchin, Judgment is someone who sports a hard and spiky shell on the outside while retaining a soft and mellow inside. In fact, the qualities of her true self not only make her best wife, but it's also hard to believe that she's a demon to begin with. First and foremost, Judgment suffers no fools. If it wasn't obvious, we're talking about a house full of demons. Chaos and destruction is guaranteed to arise one way or another. Whether it's Cerberus inflicting trouble in the neighborhood, or Modius spiking drinks to form her own human harem, someone has to put the foot down and keep everyone in line. Someone has to ensure the house doesn't get destroyed from the others' shenanigans. Someone has to ensure the demonic deeds remain contained within the household and does not spread to the rest of the mortal realm. Someone has to ensure that the rascals are reminded that they're no longer in hell, and the rules of the surface are to be obeyed without question. Thankfully, the High Prosecutor is never off the clock and ensures that her duties are carried out even beyond the depths of hell. Whether it's down below or on the surface, Judgment will not tolerate any sinful endeavors or any bullshit for that matter. Some think she's nothing but a hard ass and a jerk. Some think she's too harsh and extreme. But when it comes to being High Prosecutor, one cannot afford to be soft and nice. Because having a strong moral compass means nothing if you can't apply and enforce them effectively. So if these two want to act like criminals, then the High Prosecutor will treat and punish them like criminals. Because no authority stands above punishment. Speaking of criminals. Secondly, Judgment isn't just the High Prosecutor, but also the High Protector. When the two coppers knocked on the front door at the main game's ending, Judgment immediately prepared to dispose the trespassers. It was only thanks to the Helltaker's urging that she stood down, which otherwise could have resulted in even more legal trouble for the household. Still, even if she goes a bit overboard, Judgment's protective instincts should not be underappreciated, for none are more determined for your defense. Because the High Prosecutor's duties aren't just confined to punishing sinners, but also to protect her domain from all threats, from within and without. As stated earlier, Judgment suffers no fools. Such fools also include any imbeciles that dare to threaten those she cares for, whom Judgment is fiercely protective and loyal towards. Such fools should think twice before inviting the wrath of one who's arguably the most powerful demon of hell. A demon so mighty that even Lucifer has no control over her. And for such fools that are still none the wiser, the High Prosecutor has a special place reserved for them in her sin machine. All that said, however, despite her harsh and extreme persona, underneath her High Prosecutor role is someone who couldn't be more opposite. Back in hell, for one reason after another, the position of High Prosecutor was handed down to Judgment, who I imagine wasn't very happy about the promotion. But as the most powerful and upstanding demon in all of hell, Lucifer determined that she was the best successor to Justice, and therefore, Judgment was bound to accept the new role and carry out her duties to the fullest, regardless of her personal reservations. Just like the Wolverine, she's the best at what she does, but what she does isn't very nice. Fortunately, that all changed when the man himself arrived in hell and challenged the High Prosecutor. After defeating her sin machine, the Helltaker was able to convince and court the High Prosecutor to join the rest of his harem by giving her compliments, which she rarely received, if not ever. Seeing the broken sin machine as a good excuse, Judgment reluctantly accepted under the guise of taking a vacation, but we all know she was actually swooned by the man himself. And after moving to the surface with the rest, Judgment finally had the chance to drop her mask and be her true self. Because beneath her mask is one of the kindest and most loving of all demons, even kinder than some angels. This is especially telling when Judgment is depicted to not only be quite chill, but also quite the softie, as shown by her giddy smile when adopting a stray dog. But her kindness especially stands out in Second Circle, where Judgment is not only able to be her true loving self, but also embrace that part of her as opposed to repressing it in shame. I mean, just look at the scene right here. After a small child loses his mint chocolate ice cream to the ground, Judgment, who fortunately had the same ice cream, comes in to save the day by handing hers to the child and assuaging him. She really is such a sweetie. And to Judgment's surprise, Cerberus and Modius actually praise her kindness, never having seen such a mellow side from the High Prosecutor. If only these two behaved better, they could see more of it. And it was thanks to the Helltaker's encouragement that she was finally able to open up. Indeed, Judgment is the best at what she does, and she's also the best at being the kindest of all demons. And of course, we cannot conclude this without praising the High Prosecutor's beauty. I'll be blunt here. Judgment is the most beautiful of all the demon gals. Listen, Justice may be best girl for me, but when it comes to beauty, even I have to admit that Judgment beats everyone with a landslide. And no, it's not because of her skimpy outfits or her revealing top, though I can't disagree with Azazel here, but rather, it's her whole aura. Indeed, just like her mentor Justice, Judgment has exceptional curves and tones, a perfect balance of strength and attractiveness. But it will be a disservice to reduce Judgment to just her sex appeal and nothing more, because the High Prosecutor is much more than that, and in my humble opinion, it's her non-sexual traits that truly make her special. In fact, I'll let the realistic fishhead explain this one. And don't worry, there won't be any flying gloves this time. Thank you, Mr. Laurence. I am the realistic fishhead, and I fully concur that Judgment's beauty outshines all the demon girls of the household. I mean, just look at her pretty eyes. Unlike the other demon gals that sport crimson red pupils, Judgment's are pure white. In fact, they're so heavenly and angelic that it's hard to believe that she's a demon at all. Even her hair sports such elegant flows that she could easily be mistaken for a Disney princess. I mean, just imagine her riding a horse, with winds lifting her hair like a battle standard. Last but not least, she has an exceptional sense of fashion. It's not often that the High Prosecutor cleans up nicely, but when she does, she is an absolute stunner. In fact, it's an injustice that she's not a supermodel, because the whole world deserves to witness her outstanding beauty. I'm sorry, Justice, but there appears to be a new contender for Best Wife. Whoa, slow down, don't be simping too hard. Anyways, you heard from the nautical anchor himself. All the demon gals of the household are certainly hot in their own ways. I mean, that was the goal of Van Ripper after all. But it's a whole nother league to be beautiful. Being hot is mostly contingent on looks within a sexual context. Furthermore, hotness also withers away as we all age eventually. But being beautiful goes beyond such surface level and is much broader and everlasting. There's a deeper sense of reverence and strength, which is also why beauty is used to describe beyond people, such as a beautiful city or a beautiful car. But you will never hear someone describe a city or a car as hot in a sexual manner. I mean, has anyone heard someone say, "Oh yeah, that car's so hot"? Right? Right? Oh, moving on. Point being, regardless of how she presents herself, Judgment's elegance and gentle allure makes her beauty unmatched within the household, even against the queen herself. Fortunately, Judgement is both hot and beautiful, so you can enjoy the best of both worlds anyways. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, Judgement is best wife of the household. Yes, the High Prosecutor can be a bit of a hard-ass at times, but when it comes to being a wife, where the both of you are building a healthy, sustainable, and committed future together, a serious and responsible woman who doesn't tolerate any bullshit is the best bet to build such foundations. If you're just looking for some casual fling, move along, because Judgement ain't that type of girl. No, she's the type of girl who would form a deeper bond based on authenticity and mutual faith. Yes, Judgement is the most powerful demon of hell with endless murder chains of torture, but she still retains a strong sense of morality and principles despite being a demon, because unlike Lucifer, Judgement is a rare gem who utilizes her great power with great responsibility. If only our leaders in real life could learn something from her. And as long as you keep yourself together, be a good partner, and don't do anything stupid, like cheating on her, you should be fine. Then again, if you're caught doing something so asinine as being unfaithful to the High Prosecutor, you frankly deserve to be tortured by the Sin Machine. Lastly, what makes Judgement particularly special is just how rewarding she is. Once again, to win over Judgement, you must do much more than moving a couple rocks and defeat the Sin Machine itself. The High Prosecutor does not play around, and you must pass her trial to even be worthy of consideration by her. If you survive, which no one other than the man himself has done so far, only then do you earn the right to present her with a ring. But that's what makes her so much more valuable and special. You feel that you've actually earned her after all that hard work and effort. And after all that hard work pays off, you're rewarded with the most powerful demon of hell. You're rewarded with the kindest demon who deeply cares for you. You're rewarded with a demon with unmatched beauty even against the angels of heaven. You're rewarded with a demon who you can proudly call her your wife. All that said, it takes a special kind of individual like the Helltaker to be worthy of her. It takes an individual with a special kind of strength, courage, tenacity, and empathy to become her spouse. So to all the Judgement fans watching this video, are you that individual? Are you bold enough to face the Sin Machine and prove that you are worthy of the High Prosecutor? State your case in the comments below, if you dare. And of course, here's the finished drawing of Judgement the Javelin Throw Demon. What makes a good javelin thrower? It's not just great speed and strength. One must also possess great aggression and the ability to harness it at the right moment. For a hard-ass demon like Judge, this should be a walk in the park for her. Let's just hope the javelin doesn't end up landing on anyone in the crowd though. Or taking down an airliner. Anyways, thanks for watching and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is T.E. Laurence signing out. Have a good one.